now it should be started. Is there anyone there? Hello, hello. Let me connect directly to check with the phone if I'm started, because it's not very clear for my first multi-stream. Live. I should be live. Okay. Hopefully that works. And you can hear me well. So, as I was saying, I'm going to use Unity 6 to make a multiplayer game using all the Unity services, all the multiplayer services and the source control from Unity to try it out. And for today's stream, I will just try to set up the project using all the package that I want. I have a few asset store package I want to import to speed up the development process. And a few ones from OpenUPM that I like and that are free alternatives to other paid packages. Version control, okay. I have no clue what I'm doing with this version control. Project setting, edit and private. Okay, I think we can hide the privates. Okay, as long as I can do a check-in, it should be fine. Okay, so the check-in is working. That's the most critical part. Next, I want to have a few assets. So the first assets that I will want to import are Hot Reload, which is an asset from the asset store, and it allows you to basically avoid having to stop play mode while you recompile, so it can recompile some code live while you are playing in the editor. So it has some limitations, especially with dots, but I've been using it a bit and it seems to work sufficiently. The asset store inventory number 2, so let me, while I'm speaking, open this one so that it imports, because the package manager is quite slow, if it opens at all. Okay. There are links in the description, and I can share you the links in the chat also if you want to these assets. So these are the assets that we will get, or that are available in the asset store. So we have asset inventory, we have Hot Reload. So those are the two first assets that I will import. This is the least fun part of the project. Set up everything. I find the package manager to be very, very slow. That's why I'm trying to get that out of the way and to close it after, because even if it's just opened, I find that it's slowing down whenever I unfocus the editor or refocus the editor. So while it's importing, I will explain the second asset, so asset inventory. This one basically is indexing your assets from the asset store and from local disks. So I have everything on network storage. So that's all indexed. And it allows you to search your asset database. So everything that you acquired through the asset store or other website or produced yourselves. And you have a preview of that. You can import it directly into your scene. And one of the big benefits is that it handles automatically the dependencies of the assets. So if you import a prefab, it will import all the materials, the models, animation, if there are animation, and so on. But just what is necessary for the prefab or the asset you are importing to work. So that avoids if you, I don't know, purchased a pack of 5,000 game icon, you don't have to import the 5,000 game icon into your game or into your project. And you can just click and drag to just get these assets. We won't be using it right away, but since it's a pain to have the assets imported, like you can see, I will get that out of the way as fast as possible. And actually, I think it's the only two that we will get through the asset store, because the two other ones I can get through OpenUPM. And the last one will be the multiplayer center. Okay, so that's hot reload. Have any of you already used this package or this asset, hot reload, or asset store, asset inventory? Let me know in the chat what you think about those. What's your experience with them if you use them? No, I will use asset inventory number 2, because the number 1 is deprecated. If you add asset inventory number 1, I think you can get version 2 for free. And the other package that I want to import, or where is my editor? Yeah. So one is Graphy. I think this one is pretty well known. It's statistics FPS counter. So it gives you all the information about the computer that's running your player or your program, the average FPS, memory reserved, and so on. So it's a nice display to have. If I'm remembering correctly, it should work in both the editor and in gameplay or in build. But this one I will get, sorry, it's jumping, import, yes. This one I will get through OpenUPM because it's also available through OpenUPM. I will also get not yet attributes, which is very poorly demonstrated here, but it's an alternative to Odin Inspector. It gives you some tags, attributes that you can put on different fields, button, making group, message box, and so on. So you can get those from the asset store if you want. That is Graphy, and this one is Naughty attributes. But you can also get them from OpenUPM. And if you look for Naughty attributes, for instance, you can get it from there. And we will do the manual installation through the package file directly. So we'll add the scope registry and we will add the package. So that should look something like this. And I will do it through the file directly because I want to import the two other ones. No, not two actually, only this one and the Graphy Ultimate FPS. So same thing, same instructions. It's the same registry, but it's a different scope. So you need to add the scope in the list of scopes. So we will have 2 entries here and 2 entries additionally in the dependencies. There is another one that I want to use, which is the Eflatun scene reference. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but this one gives you the ability to reference scenes in your scripts, both in editor and in runtime. And you can have plenty of information about it, and it also provides some debugs. So if your build or your scene is in your build, if it's disabled in the build, if it's not in the build, if it's in addressable and so on. So it also supports addressable. So I want to try this one out to manage the scene loading between levels and stuff like that. So I will import all 3 of them, and so is it done on the asset store set inventory? Yes, it's done. So I will show you where you can add the scoped registries if you want to do it through the package manager, once it gives me back the ability to do so. So you can go on the top right of the package manager in the project settings. It will open this window, and here you can type in your scope registry and the registry that you want to add. You can add several scoped registries here. So if you want to do it through there, you can. What I will do is that I will go through the File Explorer directly. So in my File Explorer, oops, closed it. In my project directory, I can go to the package and manifest to open that in Rider. So it did not open it in Rider. Never mind. Not important. Please stop taking back the focus. And here I will add the scope registries at the end of the package of the dependencies. So you have all the dependencies, and after the dependencies you can add the scoped registry. And I will also add my package that I want from that scoped registry. So I want these 2 packages, so Naughty attributes and Platoon scene reference. And I also want to have the Graphy one, so that I don't get it from the asset store, I get it from OpenUPM. And I will add another package. So the last one that I want to add is a debug package. It's let me find the name. It's this one. So you can find it on OpenUPM. But on OpenUPM, it's the version 2.3.0. Hello, Frey. How are you? First chatter in the chat today. Thank you for joining. So as I was saying, you can get this one from OpenUPM, but it's version 2.3.0. And if you look at version 2.3.0, the source code, it does not support jobs and burst. So it recommends Align, which is a asset store package, asset store asset paid one, but is actually working on it. So if you take the release number 3, you can see that it's changed a bit. It's saying that it supports now jobs and burst after Unity 2022. And you can basically draw different debug shapes, so cylinders, capsules, cubes, wireframed, only wireframed. I'm fine, thanks to ask. Will you make the multiplayer hosting integration with Matchmaker? Yes, probably. I will do that through, hopefully, the widgets that are available now with Unity 6. The plan is to make a multiplayer platform, puzzle platformer in co-op using all the Unity services, game services, and more specifically, I will use Unity ECS, so the data-oriented technology stack, and I want to try the distributed authority. So hopefully all of that works together, and we'll see how difficult it is. For now, I'm just setting up the project to have all the packages that I want, because Package Manager is very, very slow, and I want to get rid of it as fast as possible. So yeah, it's awesome. They did a very, very great job on making it easier to do multiplayer games. So hopefully I will not get into too much trouble trying to do that. So yeah, this one, like we've seen a bit, it's basically to draw, debug shapes in the scene using from burst and from jobs and so on. So it's an alternative to the Align package. So if you want to have fast debugging and drawing shapes, you can use Align. I want to try this one because it's quite fresh, quite new. Let's say it's free, and I can get it from OpenUPM because I want to have as little dependencies as possible with other package, at least not free package assets from the asset store. So for me to use that, I won't actually get it from OpenUPM, but I will get it directly from Git to be able to get the last branch, or this branch in particular. And to do that, same thing, I will keep editing the package manifest, and we can add the Git URL, so in .git and jazz and the branch we want. So that should import everything. Hello Vadim, how are you? Hello Nubas. That's a few people for a first stream. That's great. Thank you. Hope you will enjoy. Hope it's not too late for you to where you are. So I think, let me check. I think I have every package that I want. Yes, and the last one I want obviously is the multiplayer center. So you can just search it in the package manager and you will find it directly. I will add it here so that it imports hopefully everything in one go instead of having to do each package import one by one. So I think we have some time before it's importing everything. So feel free to share your comment. No, 3D, Hippo. Hello, Hippo. This will be 3D. And is it done? No. That was too fast. Let me check if there is an error. Yes, there is. So that didn't work as expected. Invalid JSON. Okay, so I screwed up the JSON. It's twice here, so that's why it's not liking it. How long have I been working with dots? Since the beginning, so since version 0.1 something. So yeah, it's been a long journey, and I have actually a full tutorial series with the full release 1.0 on my YouTube channel if you want. Vadim is talking a lot. I'm developing a game using dots and related physics. This should be the hook for my game. Physical behavior for playing survivor-like game on the phone. There is no such thing on the mobile market yet, even in 3D. Great idea. Dots want to get low-level programming in addition to ETC. I'm not sure what ETC stands for. Maybe ECS, maybe it's a typo. I'm programming physics in general. My brain is exploding. My brain exploding thing. Yeah, actually, we'll have some fun with physics in this project, because I don't actually want to use the dots character controller that was done by Philippe Saint-Amand and bought by Unity. So yeah, we will be doing the character controller ourselves. I've been stalling for a long time now, and I don't even release MVP yet. High performance computing. What is more effective, job entity or iJob chunk? It's basically the same thing. iJob entity and iJob chunk resolve to the same thing. The only difference is that you have a little bit more control in iJob chunk, but it's a lot more verbose. And actually, iJob entity is sugar syntax, let's call it like that, because it's actually code generated. So there is a source generator that gets your iJob entity and produce iJob chunk out of it. So it's performance-wise, it's exactly the same thing, except if you have a particular optimization that you can only get or only do with iJob chunk. I'm thinking about methods like executing some specific code at the beginning of handling a chunk instead of for every entity that you go through, like allocating some temporary memory, native arrays or stuff like that. So that's the only difference there is in there. Yeah, no, like Unity says, it doesn't change anything in terms of performance normally. Because apparently you have seen that it changed. I don't know. For me, there is no difference because the iJob entity is generated to an iJob chunk, so it should not change anything. What to do with prefabs? How can you make something similar to the usual behavior of Unity so that the prefab is not necessarily on stage? Currently I have a singleton system prefab and I want to use a scriptable object for the process back, but are there other options to close the addressable? I will be using also, so I'm not sure exactly what you mean with your issue with prefabs. You will need to have prefabs at some point, and you will need to have them as part of bakers to be able to instantiate them in runtime. I will be using a scriptable object also to define the profile of my character controller, so hopefully that will be a good example of how I handle things. Mostly I convert my scriptable object into blobs assets. So that's the most part, or actual component if it's for the runtime component, but that's just the configuration stuff. Hopefully I've answered all your question, I think. If not, maybe I will stumble upon an issue that you have had, and I will be able to work through it and show you how I work through it. So let's go back to the project. I think we have imported everything. Is the package manager still open? No. So I will open it once more. So I have should have graphy. Yes. Actually, it will not appear here because I didn't get it from the asset store. So I should not check in there, but I should check in the project. So I do have asset inventory, and this one is not considered a package, so that's a bit bothering. I will need to not put it in, there is no need to put it in the source control, so I will need to figure out how to remove that from the source control. Burst collections, I have my scene reference, I have graphy, I have hot reload, input system. So we have nothing related to entities. We do have burst and collections, but nothing yet related to entities. Do we have the multiplayer center? Multiplayer center, we do have it. So Vadim says, the fact is that all my prefabs have to be on the scene one way or another, and I can't download them simply from resources. You should still be able to download them from resources, or even use addressable if you wanted. But what you will not be able to do is to convert those assets or those prefab game object into entities at runtime. That's been basically removed in version 0.5 of ECS, I think. But maybe something will come back. I know there is a content management package or section in the ECS dots package. I haven't worked with it. I think it's very bare bones, so it's very difficult to work with. But hopefully in the next generation, Unity 7 in quotes, it will be simpler because they will do the merge, let's say, of entities and game objects. So maybe it will be easier to work with prefabs. Will you be using assembly definition, and will you be using rigid body and Unity's built-in character controller? So I will be using assembly definitions, but and there is a few cool stuff to do with assembly definitions, but I will not be using any of the built-in character controller or built-in physics. So I will not use physics. I will use ECS, so Unity Physics. Maybe I will try out Avoc also, since I have access to Unity Pro. But I will not be using the built-in character controller and rigid body. There will be physics, there will be rigid body mechanics, let's say. Or I will basically make a kinematic character controller from scratch using Unity ECS and Unity dots. So the multiplayer center, and if you have any other question, don't hesitate to ask them in the chat. In French also, if you prefer to speak French. It doesn't bother me. I will also answer in French if you prefer to the French question. Can I use animation rigging with Unity dots? So I want to say no, because I think what you mean is that you want to have a pure entity, pure dots entities. So no, today ECS doesn't have capabilities for dots animation, but you can use animation rigging with regular game objects with Unity dots or with entities. And I have actually 2 videos now, one in 0.5 or one something, and the latest one actually it's on my playlist on YouTube. So let me try to find it quickly so I can link it to you in the chat. There is a Dots Masterclass playlist, and I think there is an episode called Animate or something like that. Trying not to link into Twitch because I don't think that's allowed. Hopefully that just goes to YouTube. Apparently it did. Great. And in this playlist there is... did I actually link the playlist? I think so, yeah. There is... yes, it's number 8 in the playlist. And it explains how you can basically work today with both entities and game object and make it relatively simple to set up, to maintain, and to use. So if you are interested, you can have a look at that. It's a rather quick video, and you can check out the full series if you want. Going back to setting up, so this is something new from Unity 6. You're welcome, Hypo. So this is new from Unity 6. It's the multiplayer center. And it should allow me to set everything up related to multiplayer quite quickly. So I want to make a platformer, puzzle platformer. It will be 4-player collab. So the gameplay pace is not very fast. Cheating is not that important because it's a collaborative game. Yeah, if Ganesh, and hello, by the way, I don't think I said you hello, sorry. If you want to squeeze every bit of performance, yeah, you will need to either wait for the next generation of Unity or to use again another asset. So there is Rokanka animation. Let me check if I can find it. Rokanka, it's hard to type. Yes, it's this one. So you have this asset from the asset store again, which is pure ECS. So you can get even better performance than with game objects. And there is actually another one. Let me check the list that I made. GPU ECS Animation Baker is also another one. If you have like a lot of entities to animate, so if you have something like a crowd or something like that. Yeah, I mean, there is a Discord channel on both, or at least on Rokanka, because I purchased this one. I didn't try this one out. And actually, I purchased Rokanka, but I didn't have the time to try it out. But it seems to be working quite well. And for me, for now, I will probably use the game object technique, because even if it's not the most performant, it also has benefits that it splits between the simulation and the presentation, in the sense that everything that I want to have for a multiplayer game on the server side, even if it's not a dedicated server that I will use, but everything will be simulated would be simulated on the server, and everything that is representation or graphical part or animation and stuff like that is on the client side. So it's already making this kind of nice separation between the two. So going back to the configuration, so we have gameplay quite slow. It's a simple platformer. It's a cooperative game. Cooperative game. So cheating, it's not a competitive game, so it's not that important. I'm poor, so I want the best operating cost. And I want an architecture with client server. It's not deterministic. It's not a multi-server session. Let me check what gives. Yeah, so basically it's a client server implementation. I'm happy with the distributed authority, but I don't want to use netcode for game objects. So even if it's recommended, I will use netcode for entities, because I'm more familiar with netcode for entities actually, or with entities, because I've been using it for longer than game object actually. So this basically tells me, oh, I can't use, oh no, it seems that the distributed authority is only possible for netcode for game object. Okay, too bad. First disappointment. Hopefully it will be not that difficult to switch to distributed authority later if they implement that in netcode for entities. So for now we'll stick with client hosted. That gives us the netcode for entities package, which hopefully will import all the dependencies, so ECS, physics, and graphics. Entities graphics is there, so that's fine. Voice and text chat, Vivox, yes, why not? Because I would want the players to be able to talk to each other while they are trying to solve the puzzles. Multiplayer service connected together, lobby, matchmaker, and so on. Yes, also because I want the players to be able to play with, let's say, friends using a session code or something like that, or even with anybody. I will try to use the multiplayer widget and the multiplayer play mode. Yes, I will want to have that too, to be able to simulate clients and to basically be able to test the game without having to do a build every time I'm wanted to try something. So let's go with that. I don't want the dedicated server package because I don't want to make a dedicated server for this kind of game. It's not a very good target. It will cost a lot of money, and there is no requirement for preventing cheating that much. And the multiplayer tools are apparently incompatible. So we'll see. Maybe it's because it's with netcode for entities. Downloading package, please wait. Okay, I'm waiting. In the meantime, I will close this because I don't actually want to use Visual Studio. I want to use Rider. I'm not sure if you will want me to restart the project. So yeah, setting up the project is the most boring part. We should be able, I think there is a tutorial somewhere to be able to create basically a template. So if you create a new project, you can have a custom template with all the packages that you want already installed. So if you're using always the same kind of package, it should be simpler, let's say, to start a new project. Thank you for the follow, Hippo. If I skip a notification or a message, I'm sorry. I'm trying to start learning how to swim, basically. So I think the setup is still needs some works. I did my best to not miss anything, but we never know. If there is anything, if the sound is too low or something like that, do you actually hear music? Because there should be music, some subtle music. Is the balance between my voice and the music okay? "46 minutes in and 43 minutes in, and we are still importing packages." Do I really see every chat? Yes. It's nice to have you guys here. I was worried I would be alone. So, package are installed apparently. We could go to the quick start now. Netcode tools. Netcode for entities, Unity data and technology stack, multiplayer netcode layer, high level netcode performance. The example setup creates a connection UI and network cube in the current scene. Can I shrink that a bit? Yes, I can. So let's try to put this one here and this one over here. Let's do it like that. No, not that. This. Okay, so let's see what happens. Thank you for the answer, Nebas. I think I'll need to check, but I think I can set up commands so that you guys can control a bit the music if you want to have it a bit louder or skip a song or something like that. If you want to know what song is playing. Okay, so we have netcode for entities and we have a scene that has been created. Let's dock that somewhere here. Press play to test the setup. You may start the host or client via the button and the right or via code. So okay, let's... Oh, that's new. Okay, play mode scenario. Okay, I don't know about that. Something to discover. So let's do what they tell us. We start. Start a host. Compiling shaders. Okay, it's not a pink cube. Okay, we can move. We cannot jump, but we have basic movement. So how is that done? Connection UI. It's UGUI. No, I don't want to mess up the... Okay. It's UGUI. I much prefer UI toolkit. So button, start button. Where do I get the action of that button? Is it controlled by another script at the top? No, I'm not on the correct one. This one? Yes, so let's open this. Twist. Okay, opening. Okay, what does he want? Yes, automatically, please. All black. Okay, can I get my file or... Better. So we have the start host button. On click start client server. Nebas started learning dots a few days ago, and I literally did today what you are doing now. How did it go? You're starting dots directly with netcode for entities. It's a bit ambitious, maybe. I don't know. Tell me, how did you find the experience? So we have. No, it's on my own phones, Vadim. So I bought the license. I actually got a discount from Jason Waynham's course, multiplayer mastery. So I got like half price or 6 months free or something like that. And I continued with it because I tried Rider and honestly I can't go back to Visual Studio, so I'm stuck with that. Yeah, it's a change in mindset for sure on bass. And if you don't have any experience either with network game, basically it's I think it's a bit too steep of a learning curve. So probably try to start with my tutorial series or even with Turbo Max game, which has also quite a few good videos on the topic, and CodeMonkeys also has a good 1 hour video on the topic, and he has a full paid course on that also. So we are requesting a client server. No, we are not requesting that. On before connect, disable buttons, run in background through, okay. Yes, that's something that I need to set up actually. So for hot reload to work properly, I think I need to have the run in background always enabled. So it's something that I will need to set up. We create two words. So we create the server word and the client word. So this method, client server bootstrap, okay. So basically we are creating two player loop, one for the server and one for the actual client. We say that the default word is the server word, and we connect. Called when the connection is established, but we are doing the connection after that, so destroy local simulation world to avoid the game scene to be loaded into it. Event loading the scenes twice. Scene syncs. Okay, so apparently we are doing quite a few stuff to avoid having twice the scene. And then we are, so I think this one is the auto connect setup. Creating a network driver stream. And how do we do the connection? If it's a client connection UI system, system base, okay. So in the previous one we get or create the system, so probably we create the system because it's disabled on auto creation. So this system is only created when we try to add or to connect the client. So when we create it, is there an onCreate? No, there is no onCreate. Okay, great. Update the UI with the connection status. So that's just what it does. I didn't check if there, yes, there is logs. I should probably check out the logs to try to understand what's happening. Could be a good step. Okay, start. Dynamic assembly list, true. Okay. Adding RPC request to go in-game from client side. Setting connection to one to in-game spawning ghost for them. Okay, it's a bit complicated. Actually, I had tried some time ago another project and I managed to make it connect and everything, but I'm not recognizing the code here. It's done in a different way. But okay, hopefully I can create another widget. 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 I can create Quick join session. Okay, import text mesh pro essentials. Actually, let me look at the checklist. So we have the multiplayer stack that is done. We have the package that is done. We are trying the multiplayer widgets. And no extra, thank you. Quick session, quick join. How does this one look? Quick join. If true, the widget will automatically create a session. If one does not exist, if false, get okay. Auto creation true, great. Get session data, there's nothing there. What is that? Name session. Apparently it's using relay, great. Max player 4, that's fine for me. Vvox, we could enable Vvox. So let's check out this one. What does it do? Unity service is initialized. We have signed in anonymously. And if I click quick join, should not have done that. Invalid client word. Please make sure it has been created before attempting to set up the network. Okay. Let me go back here. What does it say here? So I've created this sample. The sample is working. We can start the server and play around with it. Entities build settings. So I can create a client and server or a client alone. Okay, let's keep it client server. Test and iterate game locally. Open the multiplayer window, which I should be able to get from here also. Multiplayer play mode, so this is this window. Can start a second player. Last time I tested this one, it was very difficult to work with burst. I had to disable burst for it to recompile or take into account changes. Hopefully it will not, or it will work better and it will not be messed up by hot reload also. I can look to multiplayer center, connecting players, add widget, quick start 2. Okay. Yeah, there's a connecting player session. Okay. I think I will go through what they tell me in order, so maybe it's a better experience if I follow the guide. But we'll get there. Maybe I should have stopped playing to activate the second player. Maybe it's smarter. More smarter. I already broke it. Inactive. Active. Save. Is it doing something? Okay, that's pretty slow. What's next? Debug and optimize netcode for entities. Play mode tools. Another window. I know this one. This one is to simulate latencies or connection quality, let's say. So you can add lag spikes, and you can add ping, higher ping. Actually tested, and you have some preset normally. Custom user defined, yeah, you can have like broadband, and it gives you default values for the round trip time. So this is this one, which is basically what we have the ping and some package loss and so on. And you can test up to unplayable internet, which is a very, very, very poor connection with a lot of loss, a lot of ping, and not stable ping also. So it's a very poor connection. So, or even no internet, so you don't even have connection. Let's pick something that is not too bad, just for the test. This one is active, okay. And we can go back to the game. I will remove this one. Delete. Which was the quick join. Yeah, okay, it's removed. And see if we have another player starting, and we can join and have two moving cubes. Apparently there is another one starting, or something is happening. I wanted to work through the main menus and stuff like that to get that out of the way, but I think maybe we'll shift priority and look at the movement code. I need to do some brainstorming on how I want the... Okay, hot reload from player 2. Yes, but not the window I want. So will I be unable to use hot reload? That would be bad. If I close that and I want to reopen it, yeah, no. So hot reload is messing up the multiplayer tool. This is bad news. I'm not happy. So I'm stuck with either using hot reload to iterate faster or to use the multiplayer play mode to test my networking. So we will remove hot reload for now. Can I remove it from here or no? Package manager, remove. Okay. That's too bad. They have a Discord channel server now. Discord. Okay, they do. So I will send them a support ticket for that because I would like it to work. Spending some time to import a package to figure out that you can't use it and having to de-import it or unload it or whatever. Okay, so now I don't have reload. Good. The play mode is active. Good. And if I start the game, I have a second player, which is the correct player. So now that's what I was expecting. So I can use this one as a host. There is an issue. This one has been, so maybe it's because I unloaded the package. So I probably need to deactivate and reactivate the player too, for it to take into consideration the new setup of the project. That could use some work. And I was thinking that earlier when I used the quick join, I had an error. It's probably because the quick join needs to be used once the client is started. Maybe. Ah, there is a widget sample in. Okay, so it's not the same thing. Okay. Let's just make sure that everything works as expected. I'm losing the speedrun. There was a joke with Unity that said that they could speedrun this, but I'm really losing the speedrun. Okay, so we have the player active. We can start. Double hold on. Great, that's what I like to see. Ironically, of course. Maybe we'll go a bit over the 2 hours for the stream because we haven't been very productive today. Are you stuck? You are active. Where did you go? Should I enable the fast interplay mode or something? Because I didn't do it. I usually do it for other ECS projects. You're really stuck. Ah. No? Ah, it's open. Okay. We finally have our second player, so let's make the editor the host just to be sure, because that was working. Okay. That's fine. And now start the client. Yes, we joined. The blue character has joined. Okay. I cannot stop the client, so if I stop the server, what happens to the client? Got disconnected apparently. Enter play again. Oh, it stopped the player also on the second window. Ah, it's faster now. Okay, it was just the first one. So it was working with this one as well. So let's try the other way around. We have a host, so this one is red now. Okay. Ah, no, I started the second host. Did that do anything? No. Okay. 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 And if I kill the client, it has also killed. Okay, so if I stop the play here, it stops everyone. Can I dog this one? No, I can't. Okay. So that's working apparently. So it was here. It was the multiplayer play mode. Debugging and optimize the play mode tool. So that's this one that I know of. So it's fine. Can go to the connecting player, and here we have multiplayer widget, allows you to quickly test and create multiplayer sessions from the multiplayer service package without the need to set up those services in code. All widgets can be okay, so let's create panel. Okay, it's open the connection UI scene from the network to add widget. Activate existing UI and replace it with a widget equivalent. Open the connect. Why did you make me create a new one here then? Open connection UI scene from the netcode quick start to add a widget quick start to the existing one. This deactivates the existing UI and replace it with a widget equivalent. Okay, let's try to play this, see what happens. We have my second player. Yes. Great. Okay, now what? Joining session. Is it me or the UI is larger? Free aspect. Okay, I should not use the ultra wide aspect. And then okay, so let's try to join. Session lobby code test contains invalid character. S. Okay. The session copy join code. So I didn't get my join code. Invalid client word. Please make sure that it has been created before attempting to set up network. Okay, I feel like it's not working with netcode for entities. Let's forget about that then. Try to do some research and ask Unity for guidance if they have a quick start guide for specifically for netcode for entities, because that is not working very well apparently. So let's go back to closing this. I will deactivate that player so I don't have to wait on it. And in my project, scenes, sample scene. Okay, let's recreate the scene from the first one. Connection UI. It did not save it anywhere actually. Yes, did it? Yes, it's here. Where is that? Ah, it's directly in okay, let's copy that. Oh no, it created it in the under asset, so it's not part of the package. Okay, so we have the here we go. we can explore that a bit more. So this is the player prefab. We have simple cube authoring, cube input. Let's explore that. So cube authoring, just a flag, great. So we just flag that as being the cube, and we say that it needs a dynamic transform. Okay. Input authoring. Why are you reloading the domain? So for this one, we add a cube input. That's probably something that we will populate, yes, from a system. Okay, so just directly from script, ADSW, WASD, and we set basically this value and cube movement. Okay, so it's moving here. And here for the movement, we have a speed of 4, so that's delta time. One interesting thing that I learned is that this system API time.delta time will always give you the correct, let's say, time step, depending on which groups you are running in. So if you are running in the fixed update group, it will be the fixed delta time, even if it's called delta time. And the ECS physics is running at 50 Hertz or 50 FPS. And the other one is running at 60 or the other way around, but they are not running at the same frame rate. So it's also something tricky to know. So we normalize the direction and we basically set so it's not, it's very, very, very simple movement. It's not even float movement input times the speed. So yeah, it's just setting, adding the velocity. Adding the velocity, no, there is, yes, it's here, delta time is here. So yeah, it's just setting the position of the entity. There is no integration or whatever. I think this one is called implicit Euler integration. And I want to make a velocity verlet, so, or verlet, I don't know how to pronounce it. So that's the movement code. We have linked entity group authoring. Okay, we should to add linked entity group buffer. If you want to try the widget, there are buttons add widget quick start on connecting UI scene. It replaces the button start host, start client with widget in the connection. Okay, so here, saying in the connection UI scene, so I can replace directly the buttons here. That's what you are saying. Widget. Multiplayer widget. If you want to try the widgets, there are buttons, add widget quick start. Okay, let's try this. So join leave, create session. Maybe that's a good idea to create a session first. connecting player add widget. Okay, so let's remove that. So from the multiplayer center, okay. Okay. Okay, add widget quick start to connection UI. Okay. That makes more sense. Thank you, Nubas. Or Nuba. I don't know if the S is silent or not. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, but I'm okay. Okay. Let's try this one, okay. I need to reactivate the player 2. Hopefully it won't take very long. Yes, it's taking some time. I should probably never deactivate a player once it's activated because that's very long. And it's an empty project, so I don't know if it will be impacted by the size of the project, the number of scenes, scripts, and so on. So there is a lot of new icons. Private added. Okay. Okay. So can you please be activated? Yes, thank you. Big starting. The other one is starting. Let's wait for it. That is probably a useful link. Documentation. Multiplayer sessions. Okay. Okay, so that's something to create from scratch. So maybe we'll follow this one after. Create a spawner. Oh. Okay, I think I will keep that in mind. Did the second client start? No, not yet. Busy, yes. I would like to get busy too. Thank you. Okay, so I have sessions, so UGS initialized, signed in anonymously, so that's great. Session name. Create the session. Oh, yes. That is working. Thank you, Nubas. I cannot jump. I always want to jump, but I cannot. And if I take the join code, which is not the session name, that's the player list, that's not. Okay, 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 and I have the 2 players. So that's one setup that I would want for the game, to be able for me and another player to join together based on a session code. So that's nice to have. Click. Yes. Leave session. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Great achievement. We've moved two cubes together in the same game session. That is great. So how was this working? Probably not here. Not here. Host. Create session. Create session. Enter session base. Internal class. Internal create session. Wait. Okay, so that's a script that I can add on a button. Or from a widget. Is that it? If I go here and I do widget create session, I have this create session, which is the same thing. Okay, so that's how I get a create session button, but that also means that this button cannot be done using UI Toolkit. Service initialize. Okay, enter session. Okay, so you are forced to use UGUI. You cannot use UI Toolkit. I know they spoke about it during a stream recently, and they said that they would work with. They know that they were doing it with UGUI, and it would be better to do it with UI Toolkit. But I guess we'll have to wait for them to do it, or to do a full custom implementation. But I did do it on another project to have the connection and the local host, basically, but not to have session code and stuff like that. So not with relay and everything. So we'll stick with that for now, I think. As long as I can test, in fact, as long as I can test the connection and 2 players, I would even rather not have to go through the session every time or not to create a session and so on every time to test the game. So yeah, I will probably rely on autoconnect. And for that, I think this one is probably better. So can I do it like that? Both are restarting. Ah, this one is not refreshed. This one did not take hierarchy. Apply. Inspector, apply. Bit of cheating, but oops. Close tab. Okay. Start the host here. That's joining and client. Okay. I would like to not even have to click on them. So the connection UI, when I click on this button, it calls that. Start client server, start client. Network address. So that's the auto connect setup. That's the local connection basically. Because I'm looping back to myself, and this port is auto connect. So connection UI, if I were to just start client server, all of that. Let's create. Can I get the play mode, player tag, create a tag, client? No. What happened? That's not what I want to do. Create a tag, add, sorry, client, host. Okay. This one is the host and this one is the client. Good. Now, is there a way to get this value? Pick this existing script. On before connect, on connected, awake. Player tool, player type. Multiplayer services, play mode preference, requested play type, It's in client creation factory. That's the multiplayer play mode, yes. So play mode window, multiplayer play mode preference, auto connection address, requested type, default simulator enabled, client simulator parameters. No, that's not this one. This one seems to be the play mode tools. Multiplayer play mode. Sessions. No. Okay, let's forget about it. Here we are adding, so instead of just adding them, let's just call it. So if I do that, normally, as soon as I enter play mode, it should create both the server and the client. Okay, so this one connects automatically, and the other one is not refreshed. So virtual player, main player. Things managed. Okay. There is something called current player. Apparently. I'm looking at this documentation. Configure player to run as server, client, or host example. Without configuration tags, don't do anything. You must target tags in your game script with current player. Read only tags. Okay, so I should be able to get the tags. Okay. Var player tags equal this. And then contains server, host, or client. So I was on the right track. So if player tags contains host, I will create the client and server. Else, if it contains client, then I just start the client. And I don't need the buttons anymore normally. Okay, so this one started, that's great. And the other one is still working. Normally it should join automatically, which means that as long as I have an active player that an active virtual player that has a tag client, it should join automatically. And yes. Okay, so here I'm using the network locally. If I go to unplayable internet, so there is a bit of jitter, and from the other side, yes, it's terrible. So I'm using the there is no physics, so it's not falling. I'm using all the features of the play mode tools, so that's okay. Let's try to make another script that will do the connection for us, but without all of that. Connection UI. So let's go to my project and start a folder structure. Create folder game. Create folder scripts, and we create mono behavior, auto connect, trying not to add any typo, and we'll pick apart this one. So I want to do that. Same thing in awake. Should be okay. I don't have these two methods, so I need to get them. And there's plenty of other methods to get. Client server bootstrap. Unity netcode, that's okay. On before connect. So what's on before connect? Run in background, that's fine. Then we have disable buttons. I don't need disable buttons because I will not have any buttons. The word is the entity is world unconnected. So that's this one. Okay. Oops. Don't want to replace the method, the call as a method. Destroy local simulation world. Pick that. Put it here. Old front end world name. Where does that come from? Internal variable. Okay. Store the all names of the local world create by initial bootstrap. It is reused later when the local world is created when coming back from game to the menu. Okay, so I assume that it's basically storing the default world name that we create at the start of the game at Interplay mode on Interplay. And when we connect to the world, we destroy this one and we create a new one. And if we disconnect, so exit the multiplayer, we rename or we recreate the world with that name. I think that's what's happening. World all that's entities world, so that's fine. Scene manager, good. Scene to load. Gameplay. The name of the scene to load without extension. Do we really have that here? Gameplay. So we are loading this scene. Okay. So that's the gameplay scene. But what I want is to be connected within the scene that I'm already in, because I want to be able to navigate to a scene and just connect. So I will change that a bit. So first, let's extract everything. So I think I will probably need all of these. Why are you not happy? Okay, I don't know why. So we have all the variables, network endpoint from transport, add connection, UI system to update list. I don't want to update the UI because I don't have any UI, I don't have any buttons, I don't have any UI. So it should be sufficient. Just this one. List contains. Okay, are you happier if I tell you it's an array of buttons? No. It's fine here, but it's not here. I'm probably missing this input system. Okay. Let's leave it like that. Do you complain? Yes, you do. I really don't get you. Okay, so I didn't have the correct import apparently. So the gameplay scene is already loaded because I'm in the gameplay scene. If I just enter game, what are all these? Force automatic bootstrap. Okay, let's just enter the scene without even adding our script. Maybe we don't even need to have that. Okay. There is. Okay. So that's doing what I want, but there is a lot of errors. You don't have run in background, you don't have run in background. Large server tick, that's because of the play mode. So let's go back to a more acceptable solution. Server word detected. Okay, it's already doing what I want. Is it because of this one? Apparently not. Is it actually connecting to the other player? Oh, it's not. Ah, yes, no. It's not connecting to the other player because that's probably because of the not running in background. But it's still connecting automatically. Okay, so the one responsible for the auto connection is still this one, because this connection failed. Okay, so can I create my own auto connect into load? I don't actually want any scene to load. I won't load any scene. It's already midnight. For me, at least. Okay, so let's remove this one. Try out my auto connect. Yes. No. It's in French. So only one use of the each socket address is authorized. So it doesn't like client. Loop back IP. Am I actually using those? The address. Yes, when I'm connecting. Should I not simply use the loopback address? Because here I'm creating server. The server is listening for any endpoint. So for any IP, this one is connecting on the loopback IP, which is 127.101, sorry. And this address is the same. I don't know why the second one doesn't want to connect. Client Bootstrap. Okay. I don't think we'll go much further than that because I need to look back at my other project to see how I did the connection, because basically I want to reproduce the same thing where if I'm not in a specific scene, I'm auto-connecting, and if I'm in a specific scene, it's the menu scene that I don't want to connect. And then we'll be able to work on the actual character controller. So I will just try to see it doesn't open. So, okay. Okay, it's getting late for me. I think I will leave it at that today. Thank you for joining. See you next Friday in 2 days, same time, so 8 p.m. UTC. And I will look at my other project in the meantime so that I'm a bit more prepared, because I just wanted to see how easy it was to use the multiplayer center and discover everything from the start, from scratch. But it seems that some of the stuff is not very intuitive, so I will need to go back to my other project and check back on what I did to see and try to reproduce my connection pattern so that we can focus on the character controller mechanics in the next session. So thank you again for watching. If you have any questions, join in the next stream and ask your question. You can also join the Discord server to ask any questions. And if you want to support the channel, you can watch the videos that I have on the channel, so that will help me reach the 4,000 hours goal of watch time. And if you want to support more directly, you can find the link to my Ko-fi page. Thank you, Nubas, for staying that long. I know it was not the most funny streams there is, but I think it's still a good experience to watch through those painful moments, let's say. So thank you for watching, thank you for staying that long, and thank you everyone for joining. I will see you in the next stream on Friday, and have a good night, evening, day, wherever you are. Thank you, and see you next time.